Welcome to Qualtrax. In this video, we're going to discuss the Workflow Definition Settings page. In order to access the Workflow Definition Settings page of your desired workflow, you will first need to take that workflow offline. Once the workflow is offline, you can then select the Workflow Definition Settings link on the upper left-hand corner of your screen. The Workflow Definition Settings page has many configuration options for the selected workflow. Starting at the top, should you ever need to adjust your workflow title or add a description, you can adjust that here. Moving on down the page, you can select whether you would like to view or remove your workflow diagram. You will then be required to select your inbox display field. This is where you'll choose what custom fields data you would like to display, along with the workflow instance ID in a user's inbox when this workflow is assigned to them. Next, the begin and end step fields are where you tell Qualtrax where this workflow begins and where it ends. And if you're an FDA customer, you might elect to check the password verification required checkbox if you want that secondary login requirement. If you choose to enable the expiration option, you can make all processed workflow instances expire or reopen, either on a specific date, certain time period after completion, or based on a selection in a date type custom field used in the workflow. You will then need to choose what step of the workflow it will reopen to and how many times you want it to do so. If you want it to expire indefinitely, leave this option set at 0. The bottom of this page contains the security options for this workflow. By checking the Alter All Workflow Instances permission is disabled for this workflow option, you can make this workflow an exception to that permission. Instance access allows you to select which users or groups can view active workflow instances while they are processing, or whether they are allowed to modify fields that are editable once it's complete. Definition access allows you to select which users or groups can view the workflow definition page and its settings, or whether they're allowed to take it offline and modify its configuration. Keep in mind, in addition to this, these users will need to have the workflow definition administration permission to access this definition page as well. If you would like to add headers and footers to your workflow instances, you can do this via the HTML headers and footers option. Here you can add things like company logos or diagrams. Keep in mind you'll need to use HTML code to make this work. Thank you for attending this Qualtrax training. If you have any further questions, please reach out to support or your account manager.